Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, we are live with a massive elimination game of the knockout stages of the Irish Dota League Season 6. This game taking place between Sentinel Island Esports and the side of Skiddy's Angels. Taking you through this one is myself, and for the first time on the can, the egg who loves to be impregned. Faith Kiad, how are we?
I hated that. That was awful, Mark. Why would you open with that?
Sure, look,
I don't
gotta
want
make
to
it
do
comfortable in
this
the stream
cast anymore.
Hey, anyway, let's look at these bans, Faith Kiad. So we've got an Earth Spirit ban against Solar Quest. Why would that happen?
Okay, I mean, nice reset. Let's move it very swiftly onwards. Simply because I think like the bans are mostly pretty standard here, right? I mean, well, at least from Skiddies, they're quite straightforward. Like these are the four of the heroes that you just don't see really getting into games a lot these days. The Earth Spirit ban very specifically targeted towards Solar Crest. It's just probably the mid hero he's most comfortable on. He only really got to do he only got one game on it, right? This entire league, and it's basically been perma banned against them every single time since. So honestly, not unreasonable at all. I'd be a little surprised if they didn't ban it.
Yeah, completely as expected almost so far. Now, the first pickup we see from Sentinels is the Clockwork, which is the damage special, if I'm not incorrect, right?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. Looks like that. It's one of he's like a hero pool of like 4 or 5 heroes that he plays like relentlessly. That normally gets whittled down to like 3 or 4 viable ones in any given meta. And Clockwork is, I mean, Shadow Demon would have been the other one, the other first pick. But that is both a specialty for him and also an insanely busted hero right now. So it makes sense that they got rid of it and they're just going to take the clock.
I actually quite like the Clockwork first tier, specifically because it works very well against a lot of what Reese likes to play. So if you think about Reese's pool, it's your Dark Willows, it's the Weaver 4 specifically. We've seen him on quite a lot this tournament. The Hoodwink. Your Clockwork gives you an answer into all of those. So I think what it does is it's a good opener, damage is good in it, and it limits Reese's pool.
Yeah, like Clockwork's a pretty good hero right now. I was playing a decent bit of it as well. It's pretty good. I don't think under other circumstances it would be something you'd want to first pick, especially it's getting responded to with the Jakiro, which is the more we're just an obscenely strong hero right now. But considering how good it is in the game, as you mentioned, like it is good at blocking off these heroes, but also finding them. Like Hoodwink is the one that I'm thinking of, right? For Reese, I know he likes his Hoodwink. And Clockwork can find and jump it really easily. So it's just really, really solid against the heroes that Skiddies like to play.
Going further into that as well, I think what's been interesting about Sentinel this time that's been very different than the previous season we saw them play is the success rate. He's going to be upset I said this, of their mid laner Maestro. Last season had some incredible performances, specifically on the Skywrath Mage. This season has had a really, really tough time trying to find his feet in this tournament. I think Clockwork's the kind of thing that can protect an invasion onto your mid lane, so it's nice for them to pick it up. But also it ganks the opposing mid quite a lot as well, which when you're playing against Skiddies, I think Solar Crest is one of the best players in this team. I think that the mid matchup is one that you want to win against him, specifically because he's off-road moving in towards that mid lane for the last 6 months.
See, this is one of those odd things where the mid matchup in this game is like these two teams are very similar. Right, they both have like in terms of the spread of. I think the difference is that Skiddies has actually got a couple quite a significant MMR advantage, but in terms of the general makeup, particularly in the mid lane of the two very kind of self-sacrificial, hyper-aggressive mid lane players, right? I think King of the Club. Is it normally King of the Club and Solar Crest are going to be two heroes where I feel like how successful they individually are and they're given in the game is maybe going to define which team ends up taking this. Void Spirit was just banned out by Skiddies. That is the least surprising thing ever, considering that if they didn't get rid of that here, then I imagine Sentinel Islands might have just taken it outright in the next phase. It is King of the Club's most played, most prolific hero. So I'm kind of intrigued to see whether or not they've got an idea about what they're going to do with him, because it feels like in the last few series, you're right, he has really been struggling. But the same can be said about Skiddy's Angels. So we'll see how this all shakes up.
I'm interested also to see what they choose to put Mr. Sky _ on this series, because he's also a player who was playing very sacrificial in the early series that I watched for Skiddy's Angels, and then once they found the comfort with the Largo, he started having some incredible performances. There, I think, is the Solar Crest hero, Faith Kian.
I think this could be either of them. This could be Sam, and it could be Solar Crest, and it could be Sky. It's an incredibly strong hero right now, and it is honestly most prominently an offlane hero at the moment. But it is very much a viable mid, and honestly, it could be played one. I don't think they'll do that, but it could happen. Like the hero is just an obscenely strong hero to play, and it is. I mean, I think it's okay against Clockwork. I think that has some mixed. That's a mixed bag. It's almost certainly that will be that he's not laning against him. And in like for the rest of the game, the bat can get found, but it's still just an obscenely strong hero if you're willing to play it.
I think what's making me think that this is leaning towards a solar, if not a flex, is just history of playing it, right? Batrider being a 4 position in previous patches, Solar Crest being a 4 in previous patches. I've seen him play this hero mid. I've seen him play it quite well. It fits in quite nicely with that quasi Earth Spirit control a team fight while dumping AoE damage and kind of archetype that he likes, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like I mean the big difference between the two of them to me, right? Because I was really suspecting that we were gonna face Batrider against these guys when we played them. But for whatever reason, they just didn't really prioritize the hero. And I think part of the difference is Earth Spirit plays more to Sam's strengths because it is a hero that honestly just doesn't give a fuck about the lane, and then it rolls off and it bodies everybody, and it's super irritating, and it destroys. You jump on the supports. It basically breaks the laning phase because you don't have to worry about anything. He just fucks off and kills everybody. Whereas Batrider is much more of a lane dominator type. Right, and he can still, and if he's leaving the lane, it's to go farm. It's not to go kill their position 1, right? And so I'm a little bit more hesitant about it because it would rely on him being able to reliably win the lane, maybe. And I'm not really sure if that's something that they normally prioritize, especially picking it this early. Versus maybe giving it to it functions in a lot of ways similarly to a hero like Largo. It's not and at least from the offlane, it's not as strong, but it is very reliable, and they can just go off and play sacrificially and show up with a bunch of farm anyway, because if the lane's really hard, you just walk in and cut the enemy creep wave and then just drag them into a neutral camp and farm faster than their carry does. So I'm intrigued to see how they'll use it. Weaver.
Next pickup for the side of Sentinel is a 2-pick. We get the Warlock pick, which will likely be a Vox. So not a hero I historically see him on, but it's just Warlock, Yeah. And the follow-up pick then is the Weaver, which suggests that it's most likely looking set to be a core Weaver, maybe for King Jones.
I think that's going to be a 1. Yeah. Oh yes, it's going to be a 1. I think this would actually indicate that Sentinel Island think that this is an offlane bat. Which, again, now would be the good time to switch it up, right? I would also assume that it was an offlane bat, but I would always be very careful about the fact that Sam also plays the hero. Whereas in this instance, it feels like they're pretty comfortable making the assumption that it's offlane, and that Batrider actually might have a really difficult time if he goes offlane. They're going to follow it up with the Nyx Assassin, which...
That's the Reese hero. It's one of Reese's specialties. He's very good in it. I don't necessarily think it's incredible yet during this draft stage, but I'm interested to see what they're thinking will go with it. They need to pick a really strong offlaner here.
Well, Batrider
I suppose if it is,
one, right?
That makes sense. Fuck, so it probably isn't Solar on this. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't see Solar calling his own hero being picked that early either, knowing him.
I think it is a flex, right? I do think that they have picked it with the mind that it could always go mid. But normally when you pick a hero for flex, it's not you never really pick it to flex. If that makes sense, as in it's not like we're gonna pick this hero, and who knows is gonna get it. It's you pick it and then there's an assumption made that it'll go in one place, and then you can always put it somewhere else if you need. But the fact that they're leaving Sam's hero for last actually I think might imply that they're at least considering giving the last pick to Sky.
The next pickup for the side of Skiddies is the Kez. Now, as somebody who has casted Fish Dish, the Kobold team that Fish is playing on this season, I have seen the menace that this Kez can be. If he gets off to a strong start, which Jackro normally makes it so that you can,
Tidehunter.
This guy is scary.
Tidehunter.
Yeah. Has to be
Just gonna
tied
throw
here,
that
right?
kind of thing down. How much reserve time? They have no reserve time.
Could also be a Darkseer Mazanti.
Yeah, there we go.
Tied. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me why you're so confident about this. Why did it have to be the tie? Just because the Kez matchup, or is it
insanely good? As in, so in the direct, one of the things about picking Kez is they actually have shown they didn't show their offlaner, so they got the last pick. Tidehunter is really good against Kez. He purges off the damage dot buildup thing that Kez stacks on you that causes him to do so much stupid damage. And likewise is also insanely good against Jakiro because same purge. And also very good against Batrider because purge. Nyx Assassin mixed because Nyx can get a break, but still generally pretty good. It was a pretty crazy good Tidehunter game, if I'm going to be honest with you. And the hero can kind of just like chill. Like he should not be under much of a threat. Mazanti should have a pretty good game, like one way or another. And I think this is one of those things actually that really punishes the idea of them flexing the Batrider mid. Because if you have a mid Batrider, you don't really like what. I mean, unless it's. I mean, Sky. I guess Sky does play Timbersaw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Timbersaw could be good here. Actually, the heroes starting to pick up. They don't have a lot of great like they're very low damage on the side of Sentinel Island. Like I could see that being okay. Like the lane might be a little rough, but and like the clockwork's not great. But I could see a Timbersaw pick coming out here if they're going to flex the Batrider. But again, Sentinel Island seem to assume that it's going offlane, and they're banning mid heroes.
Yeah, specifically they're banning some of Solar specials. We see the Queen of Pain banned out here. We see the Ember Spirit banned out here. You know Solar Crest better than most. What else is left in his mid Rubicon if this is not a mid bat?
Leshrac, which isn't bad. Leshrac would be his best one. Sniper, don't think that's going through. I don't know how much like what Coddle.
And they take the Leshrac away from him.
They take the Lesh, but Coddle's still in the pool.
Coddle feels good here, not gonna lie.
Coddle would not be bad. I mean, they've got the clockwork for it, but other than like the Tide purges, but it's still one of his better heroes. I'm kind of. I mean, they're keeping the Flax alive. The question about what would happen, it's really good into the Lash as well. Coddle, I would actually say that Coddle is obscenely good into the in that mid matchup, and it suits Solar Crest because it's just a hero. You don't really need to give that much of a shit about the lane. You just farm and then you go gank shit. You know, it suits him down to a T.
4 seconds left. They're gonna random, and it's gonna be the Axe. So they are putting the bat mid.
I really don't like that pick.
Explain, Faith Kian.
I don't know what it's supposed to do. What problem has this? Interesting. Because I guess with the Blink Blade Mail, the Lesh can die, but it depends. He's going to Misanthropy on Lash, so I guess Batrider has a fine lane, right? But that should be pretty all right. Actually, thinking about it, Lesh might be a rough matchup for Batrider because Batrider likes to do the whole "I'm gonna spit on you a bunch of times and then run you down," and Lesh is the kind of hero that is the calling am not for me. Oh no, you've isolated me into a small area where the two of us are by ourselves. Allow me to do 1 trillion damage to you. You know, I'm kind of intrigued by this last pick.
I think the idea is to lock down the Weaver potentially. They recognize the fact that they kind of lacked solid stun outside of the Bat Jack for him, so they just really want to make sure King Jones, who has been the standout player on Sentinel this season, that he doesn't get a free game. Is that the idea?
I maybe the thing is the Warlock, maybe it is because the Axe is presumably going to get a reasonably free lane, right? The Warlock is not great against dual melee lanes, and they the worst case scenario the Nyx can cut, and likely what maybe part of what they have in mind here is that Axe can always just Warlock's not going to do anything to an Axe who just cuts waves, and Nyx Assassin can go and do whatever he wants. But that's more of that's just fine. In terms of the hero, the hero's role in the game, he's not particularly good against Tidehunter. He's lockdown for Weaver, right? That's not bad, but it's not it's not the best lockdown hero. It's not a Mars or what else has a good stun that would still be in the pool? Tidehunter, no. I don't know. I'm sort of iffy about it. It's not bad. I don't think it's bad, but it's not a great hero right now, at least in my opinion. It's not a great hero. It's just a very specific pick, and I can't really see much of the logic around it. Or rather, I can see the logic around it, but I just don't think it's better than a lot of other options that they had.
Well, let's see how this one goes, folks. A reminder, set yourselves in for a late one. It's going to be a best of 3 between these two teams. Loser of this game is going to be eliminated from Season 6 of the Irish Dota League. A quick shout out of the chat. Congratulations to Punjabi Free Music, who is on his 45th stream in a row watch streak. Holy shit.
Boom. Fuck yeah.
Biggest supporter of Irish Dota right there.
Gang.
Quick disconnect from William, Mr. Damage, to kick off this game. Let's talk through these lanes. So we've already mentioned that top lane was going to go on. Likely the Nyx just going to be bringing creeps for the Axe. Going to be an avoided lane when you're facing off into a Warlock that is fairly standard at present. How about this mid lane? You mentioned that the W from the Leshrac can blow him up. Is that something that can only really happen when the Lesh gets that level 4, level 3?
No, it's pretty immediate actually. Like, what's the annoying thing? Like the Lesh actually just does an infinite amount of damage basically right out the gate if you're not in a creep wave. So the way to avoid it, like the thing is, Solar Crest should be fine regardless, right? He might play overly aggressive and get caught out for it, but he should at least farm perfectly fine. So I don't hate the idea of the Bat Rider going in for this really. My concern is they don't really have any kind of solution to deal with the Tidehunter. Like I know that's a weird thing to say, but as far as like, I don't know how this hero dies outside of maybe Nyx ult.
I mean, right, they do still have that new shard on Nyx, the Vendetta Break. That could be something they could be working towards around the 20-minute mark.
That's it, right? That's the one thing. Outside of that, then hero shouldn't really ever die. And he can kind of just farm however he wants all over the map. And the thing is, I'm actually not really sure how to call this. I think in terms of the game, I think the team fight obviously is so much stronger for Sentinels. I guess they've filled their supports are kind of low damage, but they filled that niche. If he's gonna go for like an early blink on King of the Club, which he's a psycho, right? In which case, I think a Warlock plus him kind of runs over the map in a way that might be really scary. So we'll see. I think both teams have like heroes that I guess play to their strengths, but I'm not really sure either of them have really assembled the pieces in a way that I think is the best. But I don't, I'm not on their teams. I don't know what they're prioritizing here.
Yeah, one of the things I was going to say coming out of this drafting stage, I mean, it's something that I know whenever I cast with Mr. Maniac from Wong's always says something I quite like, which is in games like this, it's often not about better draft, it's about ease of execution. Yeah. And when I think through what the team fight plan is for the side of Sentinels, it is so much simpler. It is Blink, Ravage, Bonds, Leshrac, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you have like an entire team, like an entire win condition in Lesh and Warlock, right? And everything else is just much of a muchness for like the Tidehunter helps, the Weaver does damage, the Clockwork disrupts and finds people. Whereas I'm not really like, to be fair, a lot of the working pieces. What I like about the Skiddy's draft is a lot of the working pieces are really nice. Like when you can kind of just pick any two heroes and there's something obvious that they can do together, that's a good sign, right? And any combination of 2 or 3 heroes on the side of Skiddy's can really achieve something. But it's just like, how's this game going to go in the first 10 minutes, right? While Axe is farming, while Bat Rider is farming, they're going to hit a blink. Like Avoxo, I'm a really big fan of Warlock. I think the hero hits some monstrous timings in the early game. So once he starts running around and once
hang on, go out here in this top lane. Looks like they're gonna take that to Jackro. Gonna try to get a follow up here onto damage on the Clockwork, but lacking the damage to finish him off there. First blood is drawn by Mizanti on the Tide, and it's gonna be PAYYD on the Jackro going down.
Pour one out for the homeboy. Damn.
I mean, you had mentioned before they're going to struggle into this Tidehunter lane. We're seeing it there straight away. The Jackro, obviously a hero that's you pick because you want to win a lane, and when you give up an early death like that, it feels doubly bad, right?
Yeah. To be fair, the hero is one of those things, like, I play the hero. You feed, it doesn't matter. Like, it's bad. But it's like, you show up, and then you spit out infinite damage, right? The hero is strong enough that you kind of need to die a few times for it to counteract just how obscenely good a laner the hero is. But it's something that they really shouldn't be trying to give away to a Tidehunter, right? Because I think it's going to accelerate the Tidehunter to a position where he takes over the game. But, like I fed so many first bloods and then walked it back into lane and just won the lane. Like it just does too much damage.
Yeah, and it almost seems like it's benefiting them in this top lane. They are able to eke out that Lotus there for the Tide. Really important he picks that one up, as he was running extremely low on the regen. It seems like that's what's going to keep him survivable for a little while. Both offlaners having a little bit of a struggle session so far, whereas the two safe laners looking good. Mid, definitely advantage towards this Leshrac already with 10 denies for
Yeah.
Mr. King of Clubben in comparison to the only 2 coming out from Mr. Crest.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the, like, I don't know. I don't really know how well. I don't know Batrider that well as a hero. Like, I know he's been changed a whole bunch. I have a general idea of how he performs, but I'm not sure that much about his mid matchups. I know he's supposed to be. I mean, if anything, he's a hero that kills more than he dominates a lane by denying with his like 42 base damage. So it's not the end of the world that this is happening. But I think the idea is supposed to be that hopefully he can turn, like he can get a kill on the Lesh at some point. That's the goal. So don't count him as lost until the lane resolves, I guess.
And while we're discussing that, we get another kill on the map. It is another kill, this time onto the Clockwork. PAYYD picking that one up on the Jackaros. So top lane starting to go a little bit better ever since that Jackaros respawn. Getting his mana back seems to be very important so far. Leshrac taking a level advantage now with the early level 5 compared to the Batrider. So looks like he's going to get the ult first. Attempt to go here on the Tidehunter. Tide just about out of that one. Really nice cogs coming out there from damage to stop that run of play.
Yeah, like I mentioned that like the Tide purges shit off, but god damn does this hero just do so much damage. So there's only so good it can get. And there's nothing protecting the Clockwork, right? So it's more. I feel like the hero is a decent laner against these heroes, right? Against what is on paper an obscenely strong lane. But I think the goal is that it'll pay off in like the 7 to 15 minute mark for how well he can play the map, as opposed to the immediate, dominating the lane.
The one thing to be said about the last few waves, the Axe is now strong enough where it can successfully contest most of these waves, can pull them even without Nyx's assistance at this point. Nyx, given the rotation there to be able to take out that Bounty Rune, is hit up with the scan in his rotation, so won't be successful in that one, but will at least fear back this Leshrac for a little bit of time.
Yeah. Might give Solar Crest the...
Oh, hang on. He's going overconfident here on the Leshrac. Kobe caught out. He's fully in. Take a lot of damage here on the Batrider, but the right click's going to be enough. They do take off Konganaf Kluben. So that is a kill for the Batrider before he hits level 6, and now the Warlock in some trouble. They do still have the Clockwork ready. A lot of bonds on top of Solar Crest. I think he takes out. Yeah, there he goes.
That's embarrassing.
1 second until his Tranquil Boots were off cooldown, Faith Kian.
That's rough. Damn. Well, that kind of saved his lane a bit. King Jones might be about to get got.
Yeah, a lot of trouble here for him just with the pure right clicks of this Axe. Axe doesn't care about the bug. He does manage to walk away there on the Weaver in the end, but he has basically no regen to speak of, only a single Tango and a Fairy Fire now, so he's going to have to find a way to get that HP back. Obviously, the Warlock coming back to lane, going to be able to reset that for him. Meanwhile, mid lane, attempting to go here from damage, out onto this Batman. He has 6, and he didn't get it with that ult, so not ideal.
It's not ideal, but I think honestly it's fine. I think he's just gotta go. Like he doesn't want to rotate for a little while anyway. So I imagine he just farms it up a bit, and then he popped it, didn't work. Fine, go stack and farm some camps.
You mentioned before the Tide is supposed to win these lanes, and obviously Fish. I think he's the highest MMR player in the entire tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. But holy moly,
he's definitely not.
Is he not? I thought he was.
No, he's not the highest MMR player on his in the lobby. He's not the highest MMR player on his team. He's
I thought this guy was a god. I'm mixing it up. I mixed it up. My apologies.
He's really good, but I don't think he's the. I really do not think he's that high MMR relative to everyone else.
I thought he was this god of this tournament.
He is good though. Don't get me wrong. He punches way above his weight. For sure. Like it does not surprise me that you would think that.
Kind of like you on a night out, right? You lift things way above your weight. Is that
And
kind
you
of what you
assume
do?
that I punch it all.
Man hasn't
Yeah.
swung his fist in years. But
He
in
is
any
like,
actuality, 54 and 11 on this Kez. He's
yeah,
having
he
a
is.
pretty
He's
nice
really
start.
like when I say that he wins the lane, I don't mean that he like wins the lane. I mean that he can lane, right? I mean like the hero is good because he can show up in the wave, which a lot of heroes would not be able to do here. I think the aim is for later on the hero has a good like game matchup as well. But I mean, there's only he's fine.
Attempted go out here onto PAYRD. He just came back. This could be a second death. Doesn't get hit by that second cog, so is able to escape from that one.
Maybe?
Meanwhile, trouble now here for the clockwork. He has used up those cogs. Battery assault to try and stop the Kez. The Kez does take him out. The rotation though for the Weaver does mean he's likely dead, but he pops up that Raptor down, staying alive for now. Heals out onto the Tidehunter as well, so he is going to stay alive. And now it's the Kez needs to get out of this one, but he's being chased down by Shikuchi. Ravage is popped.
Oh, nice.
They can't get the follow-up kill onto this fish, little Kez, and indeed now it's the Nyx who needs to be careful. Has used that Carapace. Great stun there from Reese to stop that approaching Weaver, but a rough turn of play there for the side of Skiddies. The one positive coming out of it is that they did use that Ravage, but off the back of those kills, Warlock eats that Grimoire and now has the 6 for the Golems.
Yes, he has so much knowledge. Yeah, that was really a great rotation from Avoxo coming through the portal, and also from King Jones taking the opportunity to leave bot. And with a great rotation, kills fish, just stops them in their tracks. Just a bit of an overextension there, but really well played also from damage to set that up. Right, he really got them to dive in just slightly further than they would have been comfortable doing, and it really pays off.
The result of this is the Tidehunter is now significantly ahead of this Axe. And the Axe is the one really looking for way back into this game. A quick note as well from the chat. We have a fan even more dedicated than Punjabi, Mr. No Leaves, on his 50 stream streak in terms of watching.
Damn.
Is that like a year?
There's still one Birmingham's happening right now. I don't know.
Yeah. They can't lose their streaks again.
There's so much quality television in the world as well. I'm just saying.
What's your favorite TV show right now, Vidkiad? Is it America's Next Top Model?
I've been watching the new season of Invincible's been great.
Oh.
I've just started watching HBO's Chernobyl. I never saw that before.
You sound like someone trying to impress someone with what you watch. I know you're watching fucking Family Guy clips.
What the fuck are you talking about? In what? I think you sound like a person who's impressed by stupid nonsense.
Go now out here onto the Axe from the Leshrac. Huge trouble here for the Axe. Comes in with the damage from Reese though, and it's enough to take down.
I think the bug gets him.
Mr. Kong and Kluben. They do still lose the Axe, and Reese is likely going to go down. So it is a 3-for-1, but a turnaround from the gank to a certain extent.
If that was any other mid player, I'd be like, this is dicey, and I'm not really like it's a good trade, but I don't think it's really something they'd be 100% happy with. But because it's this is King of the Club's whole vibe, I'd say they're incredibly happy with that. Right? He's just gonna die. That's his vibe. That's what he does. It's what he does best. He dies and wins games.
So far, looking at the state of this game, still within 1k, but a lot of that is in the back pocket of this Kez. The Kez is building indeed towards that. It looks like he's going to go for a straight up Desolator instead of the more historic Battle Fury build. What do you make of this?
I mean, I don't fucking know what this hero does, man. I see so much fucking you see Battle Fury, you see multiple Falcon Blades into a Deso. I saw a guy go Kaya Yasha first item. He won. I don't fucking know. So I don't know what the hero does. I don't know what his spells do.
Just some ancient street magic that the likes of us will never understand. Waiting on a reconnect here from damage right now.
I mean, he's not reconnected, Solar Crest, so... I remember the hero first came out, and he was just chasing me down, and I was like, I don't know how scared I'm supposed to be of this. Turns out quite. I should have been quite scared.
We got stupid Aussie in the chat from Avoxo. What's with the Mr. Crest hate coming out here?
There's history between these two teams, maybe.
Okay.
Is there?
I wouldn't know if there was. I mean, it's a team of players who haven't played in this league before, plus Solar Crest, versus a team that have played one season. So
last season, Reese and Avoxo played together.
Define played. I saw that team.
Yeah, they lost together.
Yeah.
They were in Dota 2 lobbies on the same team.
Indeed. Okay, at least with this arsonist fast, they are able to start putting a lot of
Yeah.
pressure onto this mid tower with the
Yeah,
Jackro
so
there as well. They
precious.
are likely to take this very quickly. Actually, interestingly, this is going to be just the second tower of the game to go down so far. So a slow enough early game. Who do you think a slow early game benefits more in this game?
So generally, like I think slower actually just categorically benefits Skiddies. Actually, like especially Warlock would like more towers down. Like if on Warlock, you drop an ult and hopefully a tower goes down. Kills are kind of or whatever, right? The ult is to pressure something. King of the Club narrowly avoiding getting found there. I don't know if he'd die, but he might.
We have a name for that in the business. It's called, my Northern Irish fans adore this one. They call it changing the map state. Faith Can. That's what Warlock does. He
Changing the map state.
changes the map state by dropping
Everything,
his ult.
feeding changes the map state. Cool. Ambivalent.
I managed to pick this up with a cast about 2 years ago, and it said it every time that Warlock was picked, so they all just celebrated in unison right now.
Woo!
Saying that. Oh, attempt to go here onto
gone.
the Weaver.
Yeah.
Huge play there from Reese. Gotta say, this Nyx is
Yeah,
looking very good.
Something. Let me tell you, I know how it feels to be in this game. He's really good at using it for both the vision and like just for the pickoffs. Like he's very solid on the hero, and it is a good game for it.
And with that, it's actually the main difference those last couple rotations have done is it's given a lot of space to this Axe. This Axe is now almost on parity with Kong and Clubin and King Jones. So Sky starting to skyrocket quite quickly, has the Blade Mail finished up and is now moving in towards that Blink. And that's probably the time they're looking for in terms of going for a more concentrated go.
If he gets that Blink, like I feel like they've got a small window here for Sentinel Island to make something happen before Skiddies would like to fight. With a Blink on the Lash, which might be spoiled slightly by a Nyx Assassin. No, he's fine. But once that Axe gets a Blink Dagger, it becomes insanely easy for him to just kill a person. And I guess that's what the timing that they were playing for. So I think the pressure's kind of on here.
Indeed it is. And all the meantime, you also have this Batrider who has finished up that Boots of Bearing and is now moving towards a blink of his own. So the double blink timing could be a thing that they have to be concerned about alongside the Desolator of the Chaos, which is likely to come out at a similar time.
Catch is going to be scary. Like mostly for I think for the Weaver. Like the Weaver could just end up having a really rough game here. I mean, it might be the pressure point that they've identified because King of the Club's whole vibe is just dying. For like to put his carry ahead. So I think maybe they're perfectly fine letting the Tidehunter do whatever he wants, and then just lassoing or blink calling the Weaver and burning him out. So it makes sense. Like he's having a decent game, but all the while Fish is really starting to pop off.
Attempt to go on Fish in this top lane. They rotate 4 heroes to look for him, and they don't quite connect there. So
a hard kill.
Unsuccessful gank and a very hard kill to get indeed. And off the back of that, now the Nyx is hunting. He saw those heroes in the top lane, and now he's trying to go down towards this mines area, see if he can find out a Weaver. Weaver farming upwards.
He's gonna find a Weaver.
It looks like he's gonna find a Weaver. He has vision of him now. He's gonna follow him. He might be able to one-shot him himself at this point. He has the blood grenade. He doesn't have the Dagon yet, unfortunately. If he had
he
that
might
up,
be able to. Weaver will Shikushi through creeps, and then he might if he hits his E on him.
This could be it. The Axe is here. They're ready to go. He pops the heal there on the Warlock. The Warlock is definitely dead. That might be the safer kill. But in comes the Ravage on top of 2 with this hook shot coming out from the Clockwork. The Cogs onto 2 heroes. Really grouping up this fight, but they're around the Axe already. And they have the Batrider in. He's dropping the charges of this Napalm. He misses the dunk there, unfortunately, on the Clockwork. But still, a good trade so far for the side of Skiddy. He's only using the Jackro. Taking out 2 heroes. Looks like that's about to be 3 as they chop down that boy. And in comes the lasso from the Batrider. Catches out the
King of the Club.
And King of the Club is in. He's doing a lot of damage. Is it going to be enough? He tries to take out this Axe, but I don't think it will be. He does get him with the Death Edict, but it is a 5-for-2 at the end of that fight, Faithian.
King of the Club was just like, man, my whole team's dying without me. I told them how I feel about that. Count me in. Oh,
you just
boy.
have to be included, you know. It's been a tough season for King of the Club, you know.
I mean, one of the problems here, I actually do think, like what I said before, right, about how many permutations of these heroes can do shit. And if you look at the side of Skiddies, any 2 heroes on their team is a kill combo, basically, right? Whereas what you just saw was a bunch of Warlock, Clockwork, Tidehunter walk up to hunt fish, and fish got out, but they weren't killing fish. Right? Those heroes will not, like, you need a Leshrac in whatever go you make in order for something to die. And that's a really rough position to be in against a team who can just dodge the Lesh and kill everybody else. Right? And then, if he's rotating across the map to make a go on one hero, two other heroes are on the other side of the map killing his team. And yeah, I'm not really sure where it goes.
Attempt to go here out onto the Jackro, but he's caught straight away. They Warlock ulti to try and save him, but that is a second death with the DD popped this time onto Konganaf Kluben. Things going from bad to worse for our Danish friend.
That's rough. That's a rough one.
Something tells me he might disagree with his imprint rating after this game, Pitkian.
I don't know. It depends. It depends on what it is.
The way the coins flip, baby.
Yeah.
Blink up on Axe here, actually. Hang on a second. This could be trouble here for the Weaver. Weaver's caught up by this taunt. He has the Battle Hunger as well. One more spin. It's enough. He takes down King Jones.
Yeah, Mark, I don't think that this gets better. I think that's kind of it.
Skiddy and all chat goat.
Like, I know, we're supposed to be, like, hyped about this, but I think that this game is over.
It's 5k in 17 minutes. Is that enough, Pitkian?
No, I just don't see, like, the Lesh has died. Right, like it's the thresholds, right? I think it is possible for Sentinel Island to stay ahead of the curve, where they can always threaten the kill on like the axe and stuff, and the axe never feels tanky enough to jump in, right? Because he doesn't know whether or not his blade ult jump is going to work. Or Tidehunter gets tanky enough that he can stand ahead of everybody else, and it's just really awkward to get past him to find anybody. But now that the threshold has been passed, I think it's sort of impossible for Sentinel Islands to take a fight, because nobody dies unless the Leshrac goes in, and if the Leshrac goes in, he explodes like a water balloon filled with red paint.
I gotta say though, I'm quite happy for Mr. Sky Dota. You know, famously drove over an old Irish witch on the way to Landalk and has had the anti-Irish curse ever since. And recently just putting in some incredible performances. Hang on here. Could be a potential go. Very, very nice positioning from Reese to scout out all four heroes from the side of Sentinel Island. And recognizing this, the rest of the team say the only way we lose this game is if we take a 5-on-5 and they move to the other side of the map.
Yeah. They've decided to bounce. I mean, honestly, I don't think, like, I honestly don't think a team or like a 5-on-5 team fight is super easy to win for Sentinel Islands right now. But why would you take the chance? Are they gonna go on Mizanti here? This is the thing that maybe makes, like, maybe they might force it on the clock.
Smoke popped now from the side of Sentinels. They pop immediately onto this Kez. Nice use there of the stun from the Leshrac, but a lack of vision. Catch them out this time. Good Ravage comes out, only hits onto Solar Crest. Crest is pretty dead, but they lose Konganaf Kluben at the start of the fight. He's their main damage condition right now. The Weaver is not hitting that hard quite yet, but the damage coming out onto Sky is enough with the Warlock ulti. They're not done yet either. They're chasing down onto this Jackro, following him up with the Chikuchi. They're on top of him. Out comes the Gush as well. The minus armor doing so much, but the silence comes out from the Kez to try and kill off this Weaver. Weaver pops the ultimate. It's a 3-for-1, Faith Kian. I don't think this game's over.
Never surrender. I guess that's the real
Mr. Reeves pulls it off.
Oh,
it's incredible.
Jesus
Fish
Christ.
gets the double kill.
Oh no, he killed them all
so quickly. Holy moly.
Okay,
Reese
and we're back to where we were.
Come on, man. This guy has played incredible. I'm not just saying that because he's handsome and very tall. He's playing incredible.
Brutal. Jesus Christ. All right. Yeah, that was really well played. I mean, all right. Goes to show that both teams still have fight in them, right? The Sentinel's not one to go down quickly, but that was basically, that team fight just got soloed basically by the Pause 4 and Pause 1. So that's scary. But, I mean, I don't know, like, that felt like a pretty critical mistake on the side of Skiddies, right? I felt like there was a 0% chance that Tidehunter was alone, and then they showed a bunch of heroes, and then they rightfully backed off, but then just hung around a little awkwardly for a while. Like, well played from Sentinels to capitalize on that.
And also well played here. Do they get it onto the Nyx or not? They do get it onto the Nyx. They don't get the useless Jackro shard. They get the incredible Nyx break shard.
Oh, the Jackro one's really good.
On Pive?
Yeah, yeah. You just farm. I mean, it does a bunch of shit ton of damage. You just farm really fast. It's good. It's good to farm. And also you hit buildings and shit. Like it does extra damage. It's not as good as the next one, but it's still pretty good. It's solid.
With the Knicks having this, he now is a legitimate threat to this Tidehunter in every
Yep.
fight going forward. He has the Dagon finished as well, so Warlock needs to be quaking in his boots. Stay by that tower of Oxo, or you could be in some huge trouble.
He's a legitimate threat to everybody. I think he's gonna go for a Voxo here. I think he
is. He's on top of him. He has the break on top. Here comes Mr. Little Solar Crest, pops off the ult to get that kill, but in comes Sky. Sky catches out this big ol' Weaver. Nice Ravage coming out there with the follow-up of the hook shot. A good macro power to try and bail him out here, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of the side of Sentinels, and they take the higher position kills, taking out the 3 and the 4 in exchange for their 5.
Yeah. Diving just a little too far, right? Like, they're really doing a really good job on Sentinels. Like, this is, I think, their strong, like, honestly, the strongest part of the team is that, you know, you can tell that these guys have played a lot together, right? That's what kind of their origin is. They are just a group of friends who have played a bunch of Dota together, and it shows in how well coordinated they can be. Like, that was just a really well, I think they knew what was about to happen and were just one step ahead. But I'm not really sure if it's sufficient here. Like, that was a good team fight, but that net worth lead has not budged. It feels like when they're winning team fights, it's to keep the game in a bad position. But if they lose one, I feel like we're one team fight away from Roche and Elena Brax. Right? One bad team fight where they pop all their ults and don't win it. Where the enemy team just takes Roche and goes high ground, not having to worry about Ravage or Warlock Golem. So we'll see what method they can think of turning this one around.
We have an interesting message in the chat here from Imprint PK. He says that Kong and Klubin has clearly been watching PK replays. Alternatively, he's given himself rugby concussions and lost against Cool Mind. We're going to have to wait to see if that's true. Coming in now from the Knicks onto this bottom lane, this Warlock could be caught out. They do have this deep ward, which did spot the Weaver and might spot him as he goes back into this bottom camp. He's there, he's ready to go. He's there as well. Fish shows first, though. And with Fish showing first, they actually might not be able to catch this Weaver. Okay. They waited about a second more, they get him, but just unfortunately greedy there coming out for the pause 1.
No, I think he read it. Like, I think he read it right. Like, he greeted there in the first place, and then he backed off just on time. I think they pushed it there. Like, sometimes people just push the ganks and press their spells early. I don't think they did. I think they knew what was about to happen. Speaking of knowing about what's about to happen, no, never mind. I take that back. I don't know what's about to happen. I just, you know, I realized, you know, my timer went off, my timer went off, which is just the clock at the top of the screen that says it's time for Kong on off Clubin to die again. But it was apparently set wrong.
Well, you know what they say,
maybe it's a few seconds fast? No, never mind.
You can't change the past. The future's yet to be told. All we can change is right now, and that's why it's called the present.
Did you just not only quote Kung Fu Panda, but also fuck up the quote? Because the whole point is that now is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Yeah, but it's the one thing you can change. You can change your gifts. That's why they give gift receipts.
You can exchange them.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
Because of the receipt. Oh my god, don't you understand a fucking metaphor? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bro, I did 3 years in university to understanding metaphors. I'm an expert at this shit.
Call me Mr. Similar. Because I'm just
enough.
like other stuff.
Yeah. A comparison can be drawn between me and other things.
Yes, exactly. That is sometimes poetic, but more structurally like something you'd get out of a thesaurus.
Second level Dagon now picked up by this Nyx Assassin. It feels like he's trying to go a little bit aggressive onto this mid lane, force some sort of response. Meanwhile, all his heroes grouped around this bottom side of the map. The Roche has just moved to the top, so it's no longer a favorable position for a fight in this side of the map, but it seems like this tower is likely to be the bait they're swinging in their faces, but the side of Sentinels might read this and go straight into this pit. They're picking out the Roche here, but meanwhile, in come the side of Skiddies. They're ready to pounce. They have spotted up this Clockwork, but the Clockwork spotted up them first. Great hook shot there, coming out onto Reese, stopping this go in its tracks. He will probably die immediately thereafter. Indeed, he does the Ravage. It hits onto the Kez as well as the Nyx. They trade the Clockwork, rune, and it's not quite done yet. They have the DD rune up on the Kez, but he's only able to make the initiation there onto the Tidehunter, who, as you say, can purge a lot of his damage. So it ends up just being a straight trade of Reese for the Clockwork.
Uh-oh.
TP in on division.
No. The clock! My alarm is going off. Ding, 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 ding.
He has a Ghost
Blade.
Scepter.
Oh,
Right.
damn.
This guy's a lower input rating than me this season. You know that?
Ding, 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 ding. That's unfortunate. No,
Yeah.
This is to be fair to him. This is a rough game to be a Lash, but that was a bit deranged. I do want to call attention to what damage did there, though. I was like that seemed a bit psychotic, and it was a bit psychotic, but I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing. He was fully happy just breaking the gank. Right, worst case scenario there, he hook shots onto the Nyx. He gets immediately followed up on by everybody, and then that's a smoke gank gone, which is totally worthwhile. But he actually, everything kind of works out that they end up getting a trade out of it, which I'm sure they're very happy with. And then King of the Club went and died, but before that it was great.
Two big pickups in terms of itemization after that fight. We do get the Daedalus now finished up on the Kez, so he now has the damage to be able to take this Roche very quickly, and indeed that's exactly what they go in to do. Yeah. So much damage pumped up to him. They do, however, have the Ags finish up with the Tidehunter, which is going to be so significant for this high ground defense. Unless he dies now, in comes the attempted steal. It was close.
I like Ags. I think the item is both over and underrated. Right, I know that's insane to say, but I know that makes no sense. On average, it's rated perfectly fine. But what I mean is the item is strong, but people who like it seem to only buy it. And in lieu of other things. Oh my.
Oh, hang on, jump in here from Sky.
Oh,
Sky on the axe this game. I know Reeks.
Yeah, he's been really making it work. Really calling.
Sky.
Like, clearly, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about when I was complaining about this pick earlier, because this man is just eating these fuckers alive. He's really making it work. Just perfect tempo. I was a little worried that if the axe got behind it all, then it would be a real issue. But clearly, that was not a problem. And now the man is just walking all over this game.
I think I do kind of get what you mean by that Aghanim Scepter thing, though, because you, Faith Kian, you are under-haired on your head, but over-haired to the rest of your body. So as a result, I kind of get.
I don't know what. All right, complete this
under
metaphor for me, buddy. Complete whatever the fuck this is supposed to be.
I'm saying that you are bald, but your chest looks like an Afghan rug.
Yes, but please connect this to the previous conversation we were having.
How something can be simultaneously too much and too little without.
All right, you
average.
know what? You stuck that landing. I'll give it like a 6. I'll give that a 6 out of 10. It's true though. I think the item's really good, but it feels like people either buy it all the time or don't buy it.
Check your watch, Faith Kian. Oh, he doesn't spot him.
No, he's fine.
But that shows him.
I don't think he quite kills him himself.
I think he might get him here with the end of that. Oh, so close.
Not quite. Just didn't have the vision for it.
Yeah, very, very close. Manages to get away from that one. A pretty big waste of time there for the side of the Skiddy's Angels. They do still have another 3 minutes left on this Aegis. Building in towards the Silver Edge on the Kez as well, offering a secondary break onto the Tidehunter. That's some damage.
Yeah, Mazzanti just wants them to go on him. He yearns for it.
He is kind of the only frontliner they have. I mean, when you pick the Leshrac as well as the Weaver, you don't really have too much you want to wag in front of the opposition team when you're defending these towers.
If Lesh if Lesh was having it would never be easy, but if Lesh was having the ideal Lesh game, he would also maybe be something that they don't want to go on. Right? Like, it's not impossible, right? It's not out of the realm of possibility. But but in generally speaking, Mazzanti was going to be the only thing that that can stand between them and the precipice of doom. But they've got multiple precipices. That's the problem.
A little use of the anchor there onto Solar Crest, trying to make a go fully onto him here.
Fine, if you're not going to go on me, then I guess I'm going to have to solve this problem myself.
Yeah, and he dies without dropping Ravage. And they do drop the Warlock ulti. And a jump in from Sky is whiffed at least, and now follow up on damage. But he has to be
it does nothing. Unfortunately, despite his name, they are suffering from a damage problem, unrelated to player.
Well, yeah, I've got to say, if I was going to shout out one player on their team so far for this game, he has had a really solid showing on this Clockwork.
He's doing his best. First pick Clockwork. I don't think the rest of their draft is particularly good with a Clockwork. I think that's the issue. Normally, you want to pair Warlock with the Warlock you want paired with. Well, actually, you know what? To be honest, Warlock can kind of be paired with fucking anything.
But I'm
It's
saying,
just
like,
you need more damage. You needed more. If you're gonna put it with a Clockwork, you're gonna need another hero that does a lot of reliable damage. Like, a Tide's not that. And Weaver would potentially be it, but you know he needs to have a really good game for that to happen. And they first picked the Weaver, so I'm sort of, or sorry, they third picked the Weaver, but it was the first of their cores shown. So it was never gonna be a great game for him. So relying on him to do a lot, it probably doesn't feel great.
I gotta say, like,
though.
I think so much of this draft is based upon the idea that the Lesh would have a really strong. Oh
boy, maybe that was bait.
Potentially, they do get the Ravage off. They do now have the cogs up for this Kez, but in comes the lasso. The lasso's on the Tidehunter. They kill off King Jones immediately off the back of a Sky Call. They try to bring in the Clockwork to rescue this fight, but it's not going to be enough. Bazanti goes down to the Tidehunter. E-Blade popped from this Leshrac, trying to stay alive as hard as he can, but down he goes. The triple kill for Fish, and they're not quite done yet. They do kill off Fish.
These are the two supports in the game who are least capable of holding.
They try to get off the upheaval there to save this fight, and it does for a second with the buyback of that Leshrac. They do kill off Fish and Solar Crest, attempt to finish off there on Reese as well, but they just aren't able to do so in time.
Kill me! Kill me! Why won't you kill me?
There's no Fish.
He might be in.
Oh?
Sky's gonna go. I'm not sure if this is the right move to try and kill him here. Like if they back out, it's a win. But it would be very funny if they die. If he dies, I think
this could be it.
GG.
Here he goes. He's popped off this big blade mail, and it's enough. He pops him down. Down goes Kong up to the Sky, having the game of his tournament so far on this axe. Incredible plays. Called out a double kill. Down goes the Warlock as well. That's a dieback on Kong and Kluben.
He was finally given the sweet release of death that he so yearned for.
And indeed, it works out for him here, having an incredible game so far.
Yeah. Sky really making it happen, really making the moves. It's just like really impressed. Like the heroes, like I think the hero did get picked once or twice today at ESL, but I don't think it won. Like I'm kind of mixed on him. But it seems like with any way that the meta has been shifting, this hero's starting to maybe might see some picking up, right? As people are complaining a lot about the patch, and it's not like I don't want there to be more Dota patches, but I will say this patch feels really not figured out at all. Like outside of the Treant, like Treant and SF, kind of too strong, and Largo. Outside of that, I really feel like the meta has got a lot of room to develop more. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the peak of it. Maybe it's Axe.
Go now into the Tidehunter. They have the break with that shard. Follow-up stuns coming out from the Jackrow, as well as this Axe. They chop down Mazanti again.
Yep. Damn, as they say.
It looks like it's going to be a little tough to have this defense without your Tidehunter. He does have the buyback up, ready to go. If they choose to go here, they try to make a jump out onto the Clockwork. They jump in their Kez as well as the Axe, but it doesn't quite connect quite yet. Faith Kian, 17k net worth lead now for the side of Skiddies.
Yeah, it's not looking great. Not looking great at all. I know you're looking for me to analyze how they find their way back into this game, but I'm kind of just impressed that they are still in it. You remember what I said at 17 minutes. By all accounts, this is still going great.
I've known you to be many things in my lifetime, Faith Kian, and I think we share this. One thing that I do not know you to be is speechless.
True. I don't think it's ever happened once. I think one time it happened. It happened for about 10 to 15 seconds immediately after I was born. But I got a hold of myself pretty quick after that. I basically haven't stopped talking since.
And it's a good thing you have it, because it seems like a lot of your predictions this game are coming true. Tidehunter TPing in quite far onto that tower, jumps in from the Kez. Kez does have that Silver Edge in 15 seconds, doesn't have it off cooldown there to be able to break him, but these towers are melting extremely quickly.
They're going to respect it. Yeah, they're going to respect the war. Like, as much as they're 22,000 net worth ahead, but that's still a Warlock Bonds, Tidehunter, Ravage, and Leshrac. Like that can make up for a 22,000 net worth advantage if you're not careful. But they might make an attempt here. because Reese is checking. He sees that they don't have vision of
They
him.
have
They're
the
gonna go.
break. The break is out
But
to the tie. They
listens,
don't connect
rare
with the
L
stun.
from Reese.
Here comes the big use of the hook shot, but it's onto that little spike carapace, and now the follow-up with that little tiny lasso is able to kill off this clockwork. Mizanti goes down, Avoxo goes down. The last barracks left alive is this melee. Buyback comes out for the Tidehunter. He does have a Ravage. This will be their last call.
I don't know
Just the triple cores without the bombs. It's going to be very hard.
Oh, but there's a
to take this team
golem. They've
fight.
got the golem. Warlock's still alive in spirit. Look at him go.
Sure, here he goes. They're going on to big Skiddy here. But they kill the anchor faster.
And it's gone
the
down.
Double Jackro hits.
They have successfully killed the observer ward. This could turn the whole fight. This could be the opening that they were looking for. That observer ward does not respawn. It will not be back.
Sky is here. He gets his blink cancelled, so he can't quite make the go yet. But in comes little Reese, a thorn in their side here on the Nyx. They try to stop him from doing this, and they just can't. They get King
Ravage. They're gonna kill fish.
They do kill fish.
They kill fish.
It's a trade you're definitely happy with, and with a Roche in 40 seconds, this could be a potential way back in if they're smart enough about taking it. But with just one barracks left, there's so much pressure to stay back and protect your waves and your supports. I mean, Warlock's okay at a clock, cannot defend.
This is one of those they'd need to team wipe the enemy team twice in back-to-back to like be back in the game, right? So I'll call this like a moratorium. Is that the term that I'm looking for? You're the English boy.
Sure.
Moratorium, is that a correct use of the term? Yeah.
It is.
The end of this game. Because, like, again, it's one of those things where they've taken some good fights on Sentinels. I think they've played from a position that is kind of unplayable with some real skill and finesse. But I also, like, that it basically feels like they've just been slowing down their loss this whole game. You know? Like, it feels like it's just been them delaying the inevitable. But isn't that just life, in a way?
Maybe your life. My life is awesome, and I'm sick, and I have loads of friends and a hot girlfriend and a great job. One of those things is true. Let's see if we get to go onto the Tidehunter here, hit up with the break, as well as this big old Macropyre. It is enough to chop off Mizanti, and that is his dieback. So they will not have a Ravage in this final big fight. And it looks like Warlock also some trouble here. Hit up with many stacks that napalm. The call comes out from Sky once again on this axe. Sky game. Skiddy himself is
Before we go around talking about how great he's doing, he did miss that culling blade. And as such, I am taking back everything that I said. He's a dog.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
A real good, like a less than sign Corey. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The best off-laner in UK is still under contention. Still under contention. Folks, that is game one of our best of 3 series. We will catch you in just a few minutes for our game 2. Do stick around. This is a best of 3 series, and Sentinel are a team who have been known to come back in the past. So stay with us. We'll see you in just a few.
Nice.
Good evening, Irish Dota players. We are live with Game 2 of Skiddy's Angels playing off into the Sentinel Island Esports. Game 1, a resounding victory for Skiddy's Angels off of what we initially thought was a good draft from Sentinel, but which ended up lacking damage. Going into this second draft, bans are looking identical, Faith Kian.
Yeah, I don't think the bans were the problem here. Really, I think I could imagine maybe one or two things gets changed around just from because are they swapping pick priority?
10 seconds.
Indeed, they are.
Yeah, so Skiddy's. Then there's a healthy little bit of moving back and forth that happens, depending on when you go from first to second pick, like or is SF still in the pool?
Indeed, he is.
All right, so surely they're gonna get rid of him. That's probably what this
Ish
last.
is the SF expert, right?
Huh?
If not Sentinel, King Jones plays a
King
lot.
Jones
So does
plays.
Fish. Yeah.
King Jones plays SF. King Jones plays SF. He got 100 on imprint score on it last season. You know how I know that? Because it was against us.
It's left in, Faith Kian.
I think this could be a first pick. I feel like this should be a first pick.
It's the 1-1 that people seem very comfortable to first pick.
It's just it's absurd. Like certain heroes have come in and out of the meta. Like for example, Razor may has kind of fallen off a little bit, right? He catches a ban here, and it's gonna be the case for certain heroes or certain teams who want to prioritize it. But SF is just the hero's just so good. It does so much damage. It lanes so well. It has no real bad core matchups, right? Now that being said, I feel like Skiddies are letting it through because they feel like they can deal with it, right? I'm going to first pick the Batrider in response, which makes sense. I feel like they're letting it through because they know it's going to get picked. Dear God, is this hero just obscenely strong. So I'm kind of curious to see what they... I could see a Disruptor happening here.
I mean, they are good in the Disruptor. They do have a Voxo who is somewhat of a Disruptor specialist. As a Disruptor lover myself, I would say that he's pretty good.
I think the hero is actually really good right now. I think the hero is very underrated, and it's one of the best heroes into Batrider.
The reason Disruptor is quite good right now, I will say, as someone who very much enjoys Disruptor, is purely because he's a support that can really punish these lower healing offlaners that historically have just been able to out-surpass his damage. Because of a lot of the changes made to healing items, he can now actually just keep consistent pressure with Thunder Strikes and right clicks, where historically he couldn't. That change is really big for him. He hasn't changed as a hero, but the meta has evolved around him.
I feel like one of the things where people talk about the hero does so much damage. I don't know why, because you just glimpse, part of it is also like that a lot of the carries are just so absurdly annoying to deal with as an offlaner. Like you're getting SFs and Templar Assassins and Kez like we just saw. And so it's just Disruptor just brings them back to the carry that was already clicking them to death.
There is the pick of the Jackro again for PAYYD. He's been comfortable on this throughout the tournament, and we are going to see it again this game.
Really strong hero. Really, Paid plays it very well. So I'm not at all surprised. It's one of those heroes he's picked so much because he's very strong, but he's not strong enough to cop a ban most of the time. You're not gonna ban a Jakiro over a Treant or a Shadow Demon most of the time, right? It's one of those nebulous the hero that gets picked the most in competitive. There's the Disruptor.
Damn, Faith Kian pulling it out tonight.
Yeah. The only L I've taken so far is doubting the Axe pick. So other than that, I think I've been kind of on the ball with these. I think
and the Batrider being solar, you didn't get that either. I'll give you that one.
No, I said it was like Sky. Just as I was probably intended to be Sky, but they were keeping the flex alive. I do think you're right in saying that Sam. I don't think Sam was always going to get it though. Is the thing. Like they might swap that up here. I could see them changing it to Batrider offlane here. If they're going to be laning into the Shadow Fiend, then the Batrider just fucks off. But the Disruptor is kind of the thing that makes that a problem. That's something that they might not really feel comfortable doing.
Could we see Sentinel pull out the Outer Titan here? It is a hero which historically does quite well with Shadow Fiend. The Stomp set up for really nice Shadow Fiend ults. It's not terrible into Batrider. It's not a meta hero, but we know how good damage is on it.
I feel like if the hero was viable at all, we'd have seen it. I feel like Damage would be playing it. If Damage is not playing this hero, it's not. If Damage is playing it, it's not a sign of whether or not the hero is good. He's great at that hero and he knows how to make it work. If he's not playing at all, then I think it might just be fully unplayable. They're going to give him his Rubik instead.
Yeah,
Or
Rubik, a
even let
really
him go.
good pick here. Really
Yeah,
nice into Jakiro. Being able to steal
pretty good.
Ice Path in this hero is fucking gross.
It
Like,
can
that's
be
the one
pretty
thing I'll
good.
say here.
I am number one Rubik hater. I'm going to be totally honest with you. But I still think it's not a bad lane. They're going to go with the bounty and the monkey. Okay.
That could be Solar.
He can play it. Yeah, I think there might be flexing this to 1 and 2.
Hmm.
It's the problem is that they haven't seen what they're. Are they just going to get Enigma'd here? I think they might just be about to get Enigma'd.
I mean,
By
if
Mazanti.
they are, you know, the mid silencer, famous Solar Crest hero popping out, canceling those black holes, Faith Kiad. I think Enigma would look kind of good here. What do you make of this bounty hunter pick from Reese?
I think the hero is pretty good, right? Like the hero is really solid. The thing is, I don't they're probably just going to be cutting anyway, right? You don't. This is not a lane. Oh, like if you either go entirely all in on winning this lane against Shadow Fiend Disruptor, or you just dodge the lane completely. And Bounty Hunter is that kind of hero. It's like Reese is really, really good at these sorts of like elusive heroes that are all about giving vision and finding people. And this hero is like a surprisingly tanky hero who can just pull creeps if needs be, or who can roam if it's a Batrider off who's just farming. You know, like it really frees them up a lot.
Skiddy's keeping himself quite flexible, whereas Sentinel with this next pick, I feel like are going to reveal a lot of their draft. Obviously, Shadowfiend never really played at the mid these days. Like, quite rare if it is going
And
to
I
be
don't
put
think
into
King
it.
of the Club does it. It's starting to see some flex, right? Because it actually is a pretty good mid laner. It's just like why would you could have the best carry in the game? Why would you pick a mid? They're gonna go for the Quap. So I'm a little torn on whether or not I really like the Quap pick, right? Because it's fine if it's Batrider. They're keeping the flex really open though for Skiddies because this Monkey King could be 1 or 2. The Batrider could theoretically be 1, 2, or 3. So I'm not altogether sure where they're going to put it. I feel
I have
like
a
that
hot take here.
What?
Would love to see the Bat go mid, the Monkey go 1. You pull out a Legion due to the lack of save on Sentinel right now, and you fuck up this Quap and the Shadow Fiend.
Legion's not the worst, but the lane is going to be rough, and
Yeah, bounty,
there's
true.
purges. It's actually
True.
not the worst, but I mean, you're laning with a bounty hunter. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not really a big fan of the lane here. I feel like this is like a Shadow Fiend Disruptor is on paper one of the strongest lanes you can have. Batrider might be able to kill stuff with it, right? If you pick up if you had like a Marcy 4 or some shit, you might actually be able to just eat the Shadow Fiend for breakfast. But I don't think they're gonna do that. Could be a Primal Beast mid. I could see a Primal. That's a classic SF counter because you just get on top of them and annoy the shit out of them.
Interesting as well, they ban out the Clockwork on Skiddies, waiting on this next ban from them, most likely going to be an offlane ban. In terms of offlaners they haven't banned yet, I think the obvious one that they probably need to get rid of is the Underlord here, right?
Underlord's okay. Like, meh. I'm so on that. Like, it's fine.
Underlord Rubik into potential Monkey King? I mean, Viper obviously as well. Never mind.
Okay, Viper makes sense. Sort of because it's definitely going to be an offlaner. So it's Mizanti's hero, right? But like for Skiddies, I'm not really sure if there's anything. Oh, you mean Underlord for Sentinels?
For Sentinels, yes. Yeah.
It could be good. Like I'm not 100. I would actually be most because I feel like the Monkey King kind of has to go carry.
Mm.
In which case, because I don't think we're gonna stick it mid versus a Quap. I don't think Sam could do that, right? I don't think that would suit him. Mizanti's famous for his Enigma, right?
You
Like
just
that
want to
is
see a
actually one
big
of the
Enigma
heroes that he
teamfight play
plays.
here, right?
It would be good. Like an Enigma actually might be like it's for the rest of the game it's all right, but it's really good for the lane. Like it's savagely brutal for fish to have to deal with.
It's also like they've got very good team fight as is, you know, getting the follow-up of that Static Storm on top of what they already have with
Kind of like
that black
Mars.
hole, with the Shadow Fiend ult. I think the Mars is the alternative here that I would like to see. They need something that goes in initially and enables a counter kind of ult from the Shadow Fiend with the Quap. So I want something attention grabbing and big. I think that's kind of what they need here.
Get rid of the Timber Saw. Timber wouldn't have been bad. But I think I'm a little curious, right? It really depends. I'm not as familiar with Mazanti's hero pool. Mars and Enigma are the two that I think of. You might be right about the Underlord, because like you just shove the wave in, right? Like it's Rubik plus Underlord. You just send the wave into the Monkey King's face over and over again. That's possible, and like it's not bad for the rest of the game, right? With the into the like for the root is good for the bat and for the monkey and stuff. So I don't hate that one either. Brewmaster.
Last pick
I
for
did not know
Sentinel
he
is the Brewmaster. I haven't seen Mazanti play this before.
either guy. This is one of those heroes that I think the hero is obscenely strong right now, but it's just a question about whether or not your offlaner plays it or not. I think the hero is obscenely strong, to the point where you can kind of first pick it and play it in any given game if you really want to. So the fact that they leave it so late in the draft makes me wonder whether or not whether or not Mazanti's confident on it. But the hero's good, like, but it is one of those more for the game. Like one of the things about Brewmaster is he doesn't really give a fuck about the lane. Like, as long
My
as he gets
question for
level.
you, though, on this, I mean, you're someone who's played a lot of Brewmaster.
Yeah.
What's the Brew into Monkey matchup like?
So this is his thing, right? Like in lane, it's not good or it's not great, especially with a Rubik, right? It's not good. But Brewmaster's whole thing is he just needs 6. If you come out of lane with level 6 and like 2.6k net worth, guess what? When you use your ult, you're about as useful as you would be if you had 5k net worth, right? And so you use like the part of what makes the hero useful is that he does have kill potential, but he can like he doesn't really need his lane to go great, and then he just runs out and he's the strongest hero on the map at level 6 anyway. So I'm kind of curious here. That being said, he could still get run the fuck over. This is like a scary. He's not a hero who lanes great or has a great way of getting out of the lane like an Underlord would, to like just shove shit and then run and farm. He's not that type of hero. So the hero doesn't need to have a good game, but in order to do well, but it can get shut down if really hard if it's in that position, and it might be in that position. We're going
to have to wait and see. The last pick we didn't mention there for Skiddy's Angels is the Solar Crest Ember Spirit, a hero he's very comfortable on, and a hero that can dodge Quap daggers in lane, one of the few mids that does lane quite well into Quap. So I do quite like that final pick. It gives them some lockdown. But I think the X factor of this game, as you said, is going to be this Brewmaster. Brewmaster can have a good game, super good into Monkey King, does the team fight damage they need, very nice to pair with a Disruptor. I'm waiting to see Mazanti put on a show. I think he's the most consistent player of Sentinel outside of Avoxo, and I want to see him put on a show like he did last season.
Yeah, it could be good. Like again, yeah, the lane is one thing, but if he gets out of the game into the game well in any good position, he can really mess with the he's got all these purges. They don't have a way to really reliably lock him down and stop him from getting his ult off. I think he could really run riot. It's good with exactly what they're looking for. I like their draft a lot more this time around.
Indeed. Let's see what happens next. This is the Central Island Esports versus Skiddy's Angels, Irish Dota League Season 6 lower bracket semifinals. Winner of this game plays a group of chuds called No Tormentor.
Yeah.
Let's see who your next opponent is, Faith Kian.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Sentinels have really put themselves in a better position with this draft. Like what I was talking about before, where it's like how many heroes or how many permutations of heroes are there that can kill stuff? And this, like last time, it was Lesh needed to be in whatever pool there was. Whereas this time, support plus core, like SF plus Disruptor, has a lot of kill potential. Brewmaster plus Rubik isn't bad. Like they're Quap plus any of them, that's all right. Right before it was like Tidehunter Clockwork, which isn't killing a fly, but these can actually do stuff.
Are you liking their draft considerably more than game one?
For sure, yeah. Reese, they were expecting this. This is a fun little play here. They dropped the sentry expecting Reese to make a move, but he goes the long way around. He might have walked under the sentry ward there, but I don't think they would have to drop another to find him. But it looks like we're gonna have a level 1 fight.
It might be not recognizing the fact that Reese is here. It could be a Voxo on this
They're
disruptor.
pretending
So
not to see
now
him?
they can see him. They pop out under that little tiny Oz. They're on top of this disruptor now. Disruptor looks like he's in huge trouble. He does glimpse back the Monkey King for now, but there's a lot of stacks of Napalm. They do kill off Solar Crest, and now looks like they might be trying to do some more damage here. They do get a Voxo in the backlines on Reese, but with the mid laner dead, that's a trade you're happy to make if you're the side of Sentinels.
A Voxo making the very difficult and heartbreaking decision, or like the necessary move to level his glimpse first in order to delay his death, so it's not first blood. Well played by him.
It does feel fucking horrendous on
Yeah,
Disruptor having glimpses of a
great.
window. Oh, like the whole reason that Disruptor came good again was to change the Thunderstorm facet where it gives you that additional slow back. And that slow is so critical in being able to contest out literally any other support in the game because they gave the Q no damage anymore. He is using it well here to stop that pull, at least for now. Yeah, that's something. He gets a range creep out of this. He's
and the range creep.
Yeah, he's taking lemons and making lemon pound cake out of it, Faith Kian.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's something, right? Like, there's a one thing. This should get to a point where Outrider might just be able to fuck off and farm anyway, but they are going to make them work for it.
Indeed, they are looking down towards this bottom lane. The Monkey King into the Brewmaster. After a couple of levels, this gets quite hard for Brew, especially with the Jacro backing it up, right?
It can be really dicey. Yeah, once this hits level, even just level 2 on the Jacro makes a lot of this bullshit. So we're gonna see how that goes. If they can get out of this lane in a good position, it could be like it's a good position to be in for Brewmaster, right? Like this is a good game for him. It's just a really rough lane.
Indeed it is. Looking at these last hits off the back of the first couple of waves, good start for the Quap so far in comparison to the Ember Spirit. In this top lane, though, the Shadow Fiends, just like last game, off to a much better start for King Jones this time.
I want to go on King Jones.
Yeah, potential go here, hit up with that Flame Break. They don't manage to get the go there from the Bounty Hunter, so he is able to walk away from this one at this time.
He went for the Flame Break, which leads me to believe that they might actually be setting up to play hyper aggressive here instead of like farm, right? Because normally you'd just be getting the Firefly. I think damage is dead. Damage
might be in some trouble here. Hit up with all of those right clicks. Gonna get the Jingu off the back of this next hit. He is staying alive for now. He might walk away from this one. It's instead PAYYD's courier that goes down, but now a lot of damage being put out onto the Brewmaster, but it's not going to be enough. The Liquid Frost comes out. It does enable a bit of damage onto him, but staying alive here, where Reese goes down to King Jones, a much better laning stage this time for the side of Sentinels.
Yeah. So far, so good, right? It's good that they didn't die there. The Fade Bolt damage reduction does work. In fact, does it do like double work against Jakiro? Is that how that works? That he basically does no damage.
36%, sure.
Well, because the way that the attack modifier works on Jakiro, he's got a negative attack modifier because he hits twice.
Oh, sure.
Right, so he's like a lower damage output, and so the Fade Bolt damage reduction.
Does it apply before or after? Is the question.
I think before, right? Surely
Here goes
before.
the Blood Grenade. It's on top of this Brewmaster. He throws out the toss. The telekinesis there from damage is incredible and stops that go. It should be before, but Dota's a weird game, man.
Because, like, I'm S25. All right, I'm not sure at all. Because, like, when I checked the modifier there on him when he was affected by it, it didn't seem like it did. I think it might be after.
Oh, potential go here onto the Quap. Hit up with that little bit of a slide change. Nice little blink there, but the Blood Grenade is onto him now, and Reese is behind him. He does not have a blink up for another 3 seconds, and there's no mana to use it anyway. And Reese with the kill on this Bounty Hunter. Great rotation there by the 4. He's going to be glimpsed back here by this Disruptor, but it's not going to do anything for him. So
Reese is really bailing Solar Crest out here. Like, this is 2 games in a row where the Amber Spirit has really not, or rather where Solar Crest has been kind of quite far behind. Right? Like even with that kill and Ember Spirit getting full reign of the lane, he's still like 9 denies behind the Quap, which is a rough position to be in.
Speaking of behind, this Rubik now almost forced out of this lane. Jump in with that Primal Spring on top of the Rubik. Nice use there of the double throw, but it's not enough to keep that Rubik alive. It's a kill for Fish in the bottom lane, and all of a sudden, lane's looking a little bit more favored towards the side of Sentinels. Attempt to go here, though, onto Reese. Reese almost certainly dead after these next two right clicks, and down he goes to the Raze coming out from this SF, and now Sky in some trouble. Hit up with that kinetic field. Could be in some trouble here. One more Raze. Oh, it's going to take. The right click comes out for King Jones, and the lanes are shifted once again, this time towards the favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, this is already looking better, like the lane-wise. To be fair, mid was going this way last time as well, but then the rotation really kind of, like the mid was the only lane that was going well for them last time. Whereas now, SF is just being SF, which is fun. King of the Club is going on Solar Crest. Reese is
Yes,
in.
but he doesn't have 6 Reeses here again, so speak about bailout. This guy is bailing out baddies on the weekly, and he comes in for another kill on Kogadaf Klubin. Reese just both series playing incredible.
Yeah, Reese is just an absurdly. He's sort of he's like the older version of Pulse 4, right? I feel like he's more of the older archetype of like the guy who just basically roams, right? You don't get as many roaming fours as you used to, but it's kind of how he prefers to play, and he's really demonstrating how devastating it can be. Because Batrider is reaching the point where he can just kind of farm himself. And now Reese is just running around making King of the Club miserable.
He tries to get down that little sentry ward to keep himself alive. Meanwhile, though, with the Rubik gone, there's an attempt to go out here onto the Primal Beast and before the Primal split on the Brewmaster, and they do take him out, and that's another kill for Fish. So Fish on this big old Monkey King is starting to get rather large. Not as large, though, as King Jones, who is now 39 and 13 on this SF.
I really think that the Brewmaster might not be able to go back to lane anymore. I think, I think it's maybe true also for Reese, or for Sky. Well, I mean, the wave's pushed in at least for him, but it might also be true for Sky. But Sky is a Batrider; he'll go farm. Brewmaster, it needs just like 1 or 2 more levels. Like he needs like 2 uncontested creep waves. And
recognizing the fact the Rubik is gone, they make a go here onto the Brewmaster. They throw back this Monkey King. Fish could be in some trouble here, but in comes that dual breath. They're going to get a kill before they go down here on Fish. Fish does die. Mazanti getting none of the XP for that kill. The follow-up kill, though, is potential here, but in comes the ult from the Shadow Fiend to stop the go coming out from this little Batrider. But Solar is here. He's here with that chain gang follow-up as well. No TPs to save him. Do they have the damage to kill off the SF? In comes the Quap. She is the one that can try to save him. Reese tries to dive that tower, hit up by that Raze, forced away from this one. So a bit of a do-si-do in this top lane. No one quite willing to commit. Like a guy with curly hair on Tinder. Just lots of intention, but no commitment, Faith Kian.
King of the Club smelled blood in the water that wasn't his and got jealous. So decided to join and successfully wards off the go. Kind of a lot of resources committed for what ends up not being really much of anything. And all the while, again, this is giving the Brewmaster time to kind of rejoin the game. Like that trade for the Monkey King was okay, but still not great. The fact that Brewmaster died beforehand means he doesn't get the experience, which is critically what
this could be big, though. Attempt to go out here on the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend's extremely dead, and they're going to give the kill to Fish. That's a big kill, Faith Kian.
That's a really big kill, yeah. That's rough. That's a rough one. Getting the kill on Fish as well. So like going from like 1,000 net worth difference between the two cores almost to kind of like almost even. Spooky for the side of Sentinels. Not really managing to hold on to this lead or feeling it slipping through their fingers. Wonder if they're going to be able to try something soon. Like King of the Club, I think all eyes on him to make this work now.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, another attempt to go out here onto the Brewmaster. They do throw the blood grenade. Solar Crest does go down to King of the Club in the meantime, so a pretty big kill coming out there onto that mid laner. It's been a tough game for Mr. Crest.
Yeah. I mean, he's to be fair, he's even with King of the Club. Like, he's not... I mean, if we're talking about tough games, I feel like, to be honest with you, all of these net worths are pretty low.
Speaking of low, Sky in some trouble. I would say the Shadow Fiend's doing okay.
Yeah, the Shadow Fiend's doing well, right? Shadow Fiend's doing well, and Fish is doing pretty well. But, like, you've got both. This is a really weird situation for both mids to be 3K-ish net worth at 10 minutes. Right? That's odd.
And for both of your offlaners to be 2K-ish?
Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable because both of them, but like, because, no, that makes sense, right? because
your Rubik be a higher level than your Brewmaster?
the offlaners are like laning against the heroes in the enemy teams that are doing well, right?
Yeah.
But in this instance, who won mid lane? Everybody lost. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Like, King of the Club is ahead of Solar Crest, but he's with 3.3k net worth. Oh,
Big rotation here, out onto the quad. They do drop off that Static Storm, but Sky comes in to try and secure that rune.
Oh,
Glimpse back as well. Huge trouble here for Mr. Crest. He is all but dead here. He tries to get the kill, though, and he gets it out. It's onto Kong and Klub, and he dies immediately there afterwards. But in comes Sky. Sky is here, drops the ultimates on top of the Rubik. Rubik taking a huge amount of damage, trying to hunt down in the meantime this Disruptor in the back lines. They lose damage, and Disruptor so many stacks of that napalm. He's going to go down. It's a 3-for-2 so far. It's not done yet, but the Primal Split is popped. It's on top of this Batrider. Batrider is going to go down almost immediately there afterwards, but even with that, the 3-for-2, you're probably happy with that if you're the side of Skiddies, especially because it gives you space now with the track to go down onto the Shadow Fiend. He's hit up on top of him, but out comes the scream from this Queen of Pain, and he turns it onto Sky. Kong and Kluben getting that kill. Here comes the Breed Fire. Can they finish off this SF? It doesn't feel like they quite can. So that ends up favoring the side of Skiddies. Or the Sentinels. Sentinels. They have a similar name. They have a similar name.
Can someone read back the notes about the last minute of gameplay? Because at a certain point we needed a spreadsheet to keep track of what the fuck was going on there.
I think you're happy with that in Sentinels. You get a lot of money. You pass on quite a lot to your Shadow Fiend. That feels good.
I look up to the top right. There is a 2k net worth plus sign, so they're doing great. But that just went off so many directions. Like, people died and then respawned, and then went back. I think what ends up cinching it is that top, right? The fact that Monkey King goes down, and King Jones is just farming to his heart's delight.
His dart's delight, indeed.
His dart's delight. Hard dart of fart. Yeah. Help.
Kongan Kluben, he does blink towards a illusion room, which will help him away from this track. But otherwise, you know, we're now seeing the one hero on Skiddies who is seeming to make a big difference in these rotations is this Jackro. His damage output is ginormous. The Monkey King is building immediately into the Diffu Blade first. Presumably for the Brewmaster?
Yeah. I don't know if you purchase mana low enough, although if he keeps walking around with 150, maybe. Like, maybe it works once. I think it's just generally to play aggressive. I think it's pretty good for that.
Use there of the glimpse with the Static Storm from the Disruptor. Catches out Fish. That's 2 deaths and fast accession for the pause 1 of Skiddy's Angels.
Oof, as they say.
As who says, KPM?
As I said just there. Do you not listen to me?
I mean, sometimes I do.
Holy shit, man. Yeah, they're making good map movements here. King of the Club is gonna live.
He's sneezing.
Honestly, well, I never know with this guy. Are they gonna drive the tower?
It seems like they should.
I think Solar Crest is gonna feed trying to get the last hit.
Let's see. He does land the stun out onto the Rubik, but there's a glimpse ready. He gets glimpse back. This is trouble for Solar Crest. He has the Remnant down, so is able to escape from that one. And meanwhile, in the top lane, trouble now for the SF. There is a rainbow of teleports coming out from the side of the Central Islands, but will it be enough is the next question. They don't get off the Jingu fast enough. Can they finish him off? They do kill off King Jones. That is a big kill for them to pick up, and they lose the Rubik in the meantime also. They take out the mid lane tower also out the back of this go. This go is a bargain hunter bonanza, and they're also going to take down a Voxo, and all they lose in exchange for that is the life of Sky. So much gain, so little loss, and all of a sudden, this game is even, Faithian.
Yeah, that fight ends up looking real good. Unfortunately, the Brewmaster is completely impotent when dealing with trees. So Monkey King just kind of sits on one. If he doesn't catch him before he jumps up there, there's no catching him at all. And Mozambique might actually die here. If they
Gotta give a quick shout out as well to our obs. Didn't mention at the start of the game, anti-extreme. Managing to catch all these kills is something that is very difficult to do. And especially in a game like this, I am pleased to have my baby Isaac on this stream. It is beautiful.
Yeah, thanks, bud. It's difficult to keep track of this absolute psychopathy.
Looking at these net worths, Faithkian, so we still have quite a lead for this Shadow Fiend, but indeed, actually, across all cores, go here now onto Solar Crest again, Glimpse plus the Static Storm onto him as well. It's another kill.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know.
Do you need a Yules?
Yules doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. He's going to need a BKB, or he's going to need to be tanky enough not to get caught. I think I think there's a couple of ways you can dodge it with Remnant. I think with Sleight of Fist, it's actually quite easy. But like obviously he didn't have an opportunity to do it there. I think if you time your Remnant correctly, you can also not get caught by it. But I think that's considerably harder.
Track is out, but they have the lasso up. The lasso is on.
Alright, tips incoming.
Maestro. That was
Tip?
lame.
No tip? Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why the Yules doesn't work anymore?
Oh, it just pulls you out of it.
I mean,
Right.
from the Yules I'm talking about here, from the Ember Spirit to dodge the Disruptor ultis.
Yeah, if you I mean while you're in it, I
Yes.
guess. Oh, I guess then, but if you're pulled back, then you come down and you're in the ult. Like it would work. I guess it would. Okay. Yules might have helped there.
Yeah, indeed it might have. They do kill King Jones again, twice in fast accession, losing a lot of advantage in Sky. Gotta say, this guy has had
I don't know
a
who's
series
winning
and a
these
half.
days, man. I don't fucking know what's going on here. Who won that? Probably, I guess, Skiddy. Did Solar Crest need to die
I
for
mean,
that to
fight
happen?
recap is 1,500 gold in favor of Skiddy, so I think that one's fairly predictable, but yeah.
Nice. But yeah, but did Solar Crest need to die for it? No, I don't think so.
I mean,
So I don't
no,
know how to
but
feel.
it's
And
the
you know who
Australian way.
definitely didn't need to die for whatever the fuck just
Maestro?
happened?
Might
Unless
live?
he's a god.
Oh, he gets him!
Yeah, that one took some time. That one hurt. That was not a merciful death. That's like that's a mercy killing. That's like 3 shots to the back and then one final one to the head.
Tell me about the Wabbits, PAYYD. He's looking out over the Sound-Ass River. Meanwhile, Jacaro in some trouble here, hit up with those Primal Split Rulings. Gotta say, a Voxo on this Disruptor is definitely my standout player for the side.
I mean,
Of
let's not
Sentinel
cool
so
your
far.
jets. He glimpsed Jakiro like 5
But
feet.
let's
but he
be
has
real
been
here,
doing
every
really well.
every fight. Nice use there of the ultimate though on top of Mazanti. PAYD drops the tip before he's even fully caught. He
Deserved.
says, "Yeah, you got me, bitch." What does it mean?
I'm kind of surprised he didn't tip them before because it was just so many resources were used just to kill the Jakiro. Like that, I think that's maybe a bad sign.
Could be trouble here for the Shadow Fiend hit with the Primal Spring, as well as the finished up use there of that Diffuse Blade. The Monkey King ult comes out, down goes the SF, and a changing the guard dodges the damage from his death. That's
I think
600 gold for Fish.
I was,
And they're not done
relieved
yet.
that-
They're on top of this big Quap. Quap does drop the OT off. Can they get the follow up here from the Shadow, from the Ember Spirit? They can. And they finish off Konganaf Klubin. It's a 2-for-0. Your mid and your 1 going down.
A Voxo
And a
also
Voxo.
captain getting caught. That's rough. Hey boy. Hey boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Things going from a very strong laning phase to now a 3k net worth lead at 18 minutes for the side of Skiddies.
I really like how I was not sure what the fuck Fish was doing there, but evidently, like, obviously it didn't occur to me. I mean, and he didn't even really need to use it, but he just changes the guards to dodge the SF ult if he pops it. And I think King Jones was also caught off by the balls of that man up play, but it really pays off. Just a really impressive performance from Fish.
Yeah, this entire series, Fish playing a bit of a masterclass. I think the difference maker this game is that King Jones has some agency, and we've seen what this guy can do when he has a bit of farm, even when things aren't going his way. So, gonna see if he can do it this game on the SF. He is building in towards that BKB. When he has that finished up, these fights that might look different. But here he comes with the Flaming Lasso. They catch out Brewmaster. The ult is not placed correctly by the Distro. They are still gonna kill off Sky at the start of this fight. He is just immediately dead there on the Batrider. But that is a lot of ultis used. That's your Static Storm, your Scream, your Rubik ulti. So much used up immediately at the start of this fight. And they're going to need to find a way to win this fight without those ultis. And Reese, recognizing this, goes immediately onto damage. Damage is just dead. But hang on, in comes the Queen of Pain. She has the Scream comes in. Can I get the follow-up? They can indeed, with the Primal Spring coming out from this big old Monkey King, as well as this Boundless Strike. Fish finishes him off, and now Mizanti, no ulti to speak of, no house to go home to. PAYYD kills him off on the Jacaro. It ends up being a 3-for-1 in favor of the Skiddies, and they extend their net worth lead.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by how Skiddies are playing this map, because they're just bringing. I think that fight seemed pretty good, and I feel like Sentinel's confidence was not misplaced. But they just have 5 heroes on Skiddies all of the time. And while King Jones was down there farming, as a carry is wont to do, very reasonable for him to do, but they're just bringing more numbers to all of these team fights, and it's really paying off for them on the side of Skiddies.
Tormentor again going the way of Reese. I think it's another one of these games where, you know, while the Jacaro one is good, the friendly shadow coming out from the Bounty Hunter, it's a quasi Glimmer Cape. It is a nice thing to get as a support.
Does he still have the talent that's like a fucking 50% damage resistant or 30% damage taken in Shadow Walk talent? At
Yes, he
50?
does at 15.
That's kind of nutty.
Oh, hang on. Fight here for the 21-minute rune. King Jones in some trouble. Hit up with that big ultimate from this Bat Rider. They do drop the Static Storm, but it's not enough to dissuade the side of Skiddies, who claim this 21-minute rune. But in comes the Quap. The Quap could finish off at least the Bat Rider here, one would think, but the ultimate is out, and now they're burning Quap's mana. They're doing so much damage to this Queen of Pain. She keeps just enough to get off that Scream and Blink, and she does get out of that one, but they lose their big old Wisdom Rune in order to do so. Damage hanging around the backside in case he can kill him off, but can't do so quite yet. The Brewmaster is here. The Brewmaster does have ultimate, so he needs to be careful here on Mr. Solarcrest. Drops off that Sleight of Fist and immediately tries to dodge out, but gets glimpsed back in. But the glimpse just glimpses him towards the Disruptor, who dies immediately thereafterwards. The Brewlings, meanwhile, are trying to clear out the Jacaro. They might kill the Jacaro, but that's all they're going to do. And immediately thereafterwards, it's going to be a death for Mr. Mizanti as they take a 2-for-1. Looks like there's going to be a 3-for-1 immediately thereafterwards, as he is piled upon by the side of the Skiddy's Angels, and they take another good team fight and immediately parry it into a Roche.
That was a good team fight from them. Dear God, I think we're starting. We can clown on King of the Club a bit there. I was checking the timer when he jumped in. He didn't have his ult up. It was like 2 seconds. It's just that little bit of a difference there. I think if he jumps in and pops his ult, I think that actually maybe goes a lot better for them. But instead, he just kind of stalls out, takes a bunch of damage, waiting for it to come off cooldown, and then it doesn't really do what he needs it to. So this net worth advantage is becoming a serious issue. I don't know how Reese is 9k net worth. I don't know where that came from.
Track kills, baby.
Currently the second highest net worth on his team, just somehow. I guess doesn't everybody get those? Jesus
he gets
Christ.
bonus.
He just gets it. He has a pipe now, so that's cool.
He gets 3 times the amount of money for that. But
Oh
in comes
my
the
God.
oh my god, the ult! Wukong and Kluben and kills off Sky, and now he's fighting with the Aegis. He snatches the Aegis and takes it from Fish. Fish is low, down he goes. The 3-for-1 is not done yet. It's a 4-for-1, and they steal the Aegis. The king of the club is dancing, Faith Kian.
He spent the whole game, or a whole series, just making them cocky, you know, making them overconfident, making them being unpredictable, and then it pays off. Holy shit! You take 10 suicide jumps on the hopes that they pay off and are a crazy good play, and one of them is gonna be a crazy good play. Holy shit! That's an insane. Like, that is really an incredible, just not even just a steal, just like a steal, like Roche steal doesn't feel appropriate here. That was like a team fight Roche steal, all rolled into one. Just incredibly well played from King of the Club.
I told myself before this series, okay, right, until I get too excited over small things. You need to keep it chill for this cast, but when shit like that happens.
That's good. I would not consider that a small thing. I would consider that one of the biggest plays that can happen in 100 games of Dota.
Yeah.
So, I think it's fair. No, that was reasonable. And one of the things is, like, last game it felt like they were stalling out because I don't really think their draft could do all that much. I think they can do a decent amount here.
Trouble here for Solarcrest. He's hit by all these heroes. He's very slowed. He's going to go down, and indeed, down he goes. Tip onto Crest. That's a weird play.
That was a deserved tip. I have actually no idea how he died there. They couldn't lock him down. Did he just not have any remnants?
Jump in now onto the Quap with the ult coming out from this Monkey King. The ult connects, but Quap blinks out of that one. A lot of damage coming in the back lines from this Jacaro and the Bounty Hunter, who honestly are the best players in their team this game. They forced the BKB out from the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend gets off that Force Staff, so he is going to get himself out of that one. But really, a jump in for the Brewmaster. He just about has enough HP to keep himself alive, and now trouble for the side of Skiddy's Angels. They're going to have to get away from this fight. The Jacaro is probably dead as all hell, and they are chasing him down, and down he goes. There she blows. Lives on about 10 HP here, and now the Monkey King is in, trying to man fight the SF, and he wins the man fight. And they don't lose their Jacaro. The Jacaro manages to stay alive about 10 HP, and now Mizanti is back alive. Alive is an interesting term for it, as he goes down immediately thereafterwards. Damage, you know, in the go-go cage, doing some sexy dancing on the Rubik. All eyes on him, but that's a death. That's a 3 for 0, and suddenly all the effectiveness of that Quap jump in the Roche pit is just nullified.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like I feel like because like Avoxo was dead. I think he was desperately running there. If they have him, then they get a glimpse back on someone important, and I think that fight goes a bit differently. But Fish, man, right? Like he is playing so well in this game. I did not consider Monkey King to be that strong of a hero, especially like this guy's playing Monkey King into Shadow Fiend and making the Monkey King look stronger. Like he's really having quite a series here. Really impressive performance.
Indeed, and he pops the Monkey King ulti on that big old tower, guaranteeing it for his team. It would seem like is the goal here. Just forcing rotations. The big old Brewmaster does not have the primal split to deal with this. Avoxo is spotted here on the distro. They don't have the vision to deal with him though, so he does manage to get out of that one. The Bounty Hunter also spotted. Blink in from the Quap. Mr. Kluben. Meanwhile, they do catch out this big ol' SF. They drop a really nice Disruptor ulti out to at least delay off Fish. But Fish with the Force Staff coming out from PAYYD. Excellent play there from the Jacaro to bail out his pause 1. Looks like Avoxo is going to be the first one caught in this fight, and indeed he is. But they might lose Fish in order to do so. Fish doing what he can to do as much damage as possible before he dies. He lives for now, and now he's healing off the Broodlings. It's going to be enough. He stays alive in this fight. The glimpse is there. Blinking again from this Quap. She might finish off the Monkey King, but that's all she's going to get. It's a 4 for 1 so far. Mizanti's ult. Double buyback from the side of Sentinel Islands.
I don't know what the fuck they think they're gonna do. I think that both of these supports are just about to die.
I think so too. And
I think they're fucking around. I think they're
living up to that quality. This could be the last time we see the side of Sentinels in this Irish Dota League, as Avoxo being chased down by the Jacaro, taking a lot of damage. In comes Mr. Crest. Double kill for him.
That's a
tie back of both supports.
That did seem like a bit of a I've got work in the morning play. To be honest with you, this has been going on quite long enough. I've got to go to bed. I don't know what they thought was possibly gonna happen there. The Brewmaster ult was gone. It's a Rubik and a Disruptor. Like they have great setup. They're not a lot of damage.
I mean, they hold the mid tower for like 10 more seconds, but with that, look at their net worths compared to the supports of the side of Skiddy's Angels. You have 13k on this Bounty Hunter right now.
That's not
compared to
great.
What's it looking at? Just a 5k for the Rubik. He is more than double, almost triple his net worth.
I mean, that's not great, but it's fine. It's little more concerning how much far ahead he is of the enemy course.
He just got delivered a fully constructed Lotus Orb.
Yeah, it's real real spooky. Like this tower is. I feel like they're.
Mr. Kluben. Yeah, he's dead, man. Oh, maybe not with the Yules. Might stay alive for a second too longer? Nope.
Oh, the turn rate, man. Jesus Christ. Just he's so covered in sticky napalm that turning around to blink, it just takes too long and he dies. Pseudo's
he is
done.
The Titanic approaching an iceberg, and now Mizanti could be in some trouble hit up with this big old track from the Bounty Hunter. The single stun, the second stun, and now Mizanti is forced to pop the Primal Split. This Primal Split is immediately followed up on by Mr. Crest on this Ember Spirit. The Ember, though, too tanky to worry about this now, and now they kill off damage again. That's a third death in fastest session for this Rubik. One Brewling down. The other two Brewlings forced to separate out. They now won't have Primal Split for this next fight.
One of the things that makes Brewmaster so strong is because with the change to him in the last patch, in the last like letter patch or like major patch rather, they got rid of a bunch of his stuff. But what they did was they made his innate ability. It basically gives him status resistance when he takes damage, right? And so it's really different. It used to be the case you could kind of like he had it before, but he would need to be really ready for it, right? You'd need to have like the right stance and to use your W in order for it to work. But now it just happens automatically, so it's really difficult to kill him before he gets his ult off, which is a problem unless you don't give a fuck that he got his ult off. In which point
and to go here out onto the Shadow Fiend hip with the stun once again coming out from this little tiny Monkey King. It's a double kill. They chop down a Voxo. They chop down King Jones. There's no buyback to speak of on this disruptor. There's no buyback on the crop, and GG is called. That's the end of Sentinel Esports. Their time in the Irish Dota League Season 6 Div 1 is over. The side of Skiddy's Angels will face off against No Tormentor in the next round.
Pouring out for the boys.
We get a thank God from William, aka
We also get a Brexit means Brexit from Sky, which I'm going to have a long conversation with him if I ever meet him in person.
If you ever meet him in person, indeed. And if you want to meet Sky in person, ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity for you to do so. The Irish Dota League LAN is coming up in just a few weeks. It's taking place in Belfast. If you're watching the stream for the first time, please, please, please go to Dota2Ireland.com where you can find out about upcoming leagues. This league might seem a little intimidating to you, Div 1, but we have 4 divisions all the way down to Crusader. So if you've never played competitive Dota before but want to within your own bracket, we are one of the few leagues that provides the ability for you to do so, as well as a lovely community of really fun people that you can meet and get to know. Please do go Dota2Ireland.com. We'll also be having a meetup at ESL Birmingham, which is coming up this weekend. So do join the Discord before then. We're doing events every single night. We're all hanging out every night. If you have no friends, you're going on your own, you're saying, oh shit, who am I going to hang out in the evenings? We can't promise good company. We can promise company, right, Faith Can?
Yeah, fair. I do like the angle that you're taking here. You're just like, if you're a friendless loser, then you sure know where you should be on April 18th and 19th, or 17th and 18th. I forget which one it is.
Absolutely. Listen, do join in. It's a lovely community. I'm eternally grateful that I've been a part of it. This evening, it's been myself, Run and Tell, alongside Faith Kian. An eternal shout out to our ridiculously attentive and talented observer of this game, which is Mr. Anti-Extreme. Please hire this guy for a tournament. He is so fucking talented. He's very busy, but if you can get him, God, he's good.
There's a reason he's
busy.
Guys,
there's a reason he's busy. We will see you soon for some more Div 1 action. There might be a little bit of a break in Irish Dota 2 action while we await ESL Birmingham, but immediately thereafter, we'll see you soon for some more games of the Irish Dota League. I've been Run and Tell alongside Faith Can with Anti on the obs. We'll see you soon, folks. See you later.